first time that I've encountered conducting a native camp class using a separate ESL company's teaching platform. I have not received any training for QQ English, but one of my students had to use it for our native camp class. Now, why do some students use QQ English or a different learning platform, just like Ingo, which I've also encountered? Well, the reason why they do that is because they prefer to use the learning materials from other ESL companies because most likely they've already finished all the books, all the lessons in native camp. So, what's the deal here? We have to make sure that we'd be able to smoothly conduct the class without panicking and without, of course, compromising our class on native camp. So I'm going to be giving you tips on what to do and what to watch out for just in case you encounter students requesting to use a different teaching platform. Again, such as QQ English, Ingu, others would request for you to use Google Docs. Others would like to share materials on Google Drive. So you have to be prepared for that. But before we get to that part, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, Teacha Karen. And if you are an aspiring teacher for Native Camp, don't forget to click the link down below to apply and send me an email at askteacherkaren@gmail.com to get tried and tested tips on how to pass. Let's get started, Teachas. As I've mentioned earlier, students get to be creative when it comes to maximizing their learning resources. So the classroom and the learning materials are not just limited to native camps material, which would be our comfort zone, but they could use any material available on QQ English, Ingu Classroom. And again, these are two separate ESL companies, Google Docs, and the third one is Google Drive, right? Or the fourth one is Google Drive. So, what are we going to do? Number one is do not panic. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be startling us at first when you get to encounter this. But the usual setup is if they are using a separate ESL company, right? If they're using a separate ESL company, there will be two cameras and two microphones. Now, what should you remember? You should turn on and use your native camp microphone and camera. Never ever turn these off or else you will get in trouble, teacher. Okay? So inform your student that we have to turn on these camera and microphone because we would need that for security purposes, right? Since we are also being observed by native camp. And in terms of the book, you just have to simply use the book available on their preferred teaching platform. And if you are not familiar how to run that, you have to be transparent to the student instead of pretending that you could teach a certain topic, but turns out you can't. And in the end, you'll just get a low star rating. But usually the materials are easy. I have never encountered challenging learning materials using QQ English or Ingo. Faucet. Do you see? Huh? Where can I find a faucet in your house? Where can I find a faucet? There's a very good. Could you say that for teacher in a complete sentence? There's a faucet in. Very good. There's a faucet in the bathroom. Tip number two, you have to use the native camp chat box. Again, we are being observed and monitored by native camp. So you don't want your class to appear as if you are doing nothing and saying nothing, right? So other than turning on your native camp camera and microphone, you have to make sure that all of your feedback in terms of pronunciation, new vocabulary, grammar, and new phrases are all documented on the native camp chat room. Okay? You could do both, wherein you paste the information on the other ESL company's chat box and your native camp chat box. What's important is that you must do it on the native camp chat box. Oh, it's broken. Okay, there we go. You say, I have a broken drawer. Very good. You have a broken drawer. And Um, let's continue to the other words with the ah sounds. With the ah sounds. Come on. It's a name. It's an English name of a boy. How do we say that? Paul. Very good. Tip number three, which is actually more of a reminder, do not forget to close or exit the screen of the separate ESL company after your class ends. Because the thing is, if you forget to turn off or exit that screen, even though you're already conducting another lesson, your student would be able to see you conducting another lesson. And that's like what? A cringe, a turn off. Yeah, right? The teacher forgot to turn off the camera. What if all of a sudden you were eating, getting dressed, and your camera is still on recording on a separate ESL company's platform, right? So make sure you close it out. That's really a reminder because you don't want your student catching you doing things that you do while the camera is off, right? So you know what I mean, teacher. And for my final tip, make sure your hardware can deal with the added work. So you have to invest on a reliable computer, a reliable device. Make sure your device doesn't overheat. I'd recommend an 8 gig RAM device. And if it's summer in your place, make sure there's good ventilation. Because trust me, running these two separate learning platforms will slow down your computer. So you have to make sure that you are ready for that because we do not want to get low star ratings because of the student wanting to use a separate platform. So, if just in case they're using, Google Docs or Google Drive, make sure you have a Gmail account so that you'd be able to access all of their files that they're sending you and save them on your computer for future use, of course. That's a wrap, teachers. So, the purpose of this video is just basically to make you realize that your teaching environment is not always limited to native camps, teaching environment, or platform. That's our comfort zone. But then again, prepare to be uncomfortable if your student prefers to use a different platform. What's important is you have flexibility, you are able to manage and multitask, the added work for you, and of course, your hardware, your computer, your laptop, your desktop would be able to accommodate the added work. All right. Make sure you do not get, low star ratings just because of your student's preferred platform. So I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, don't forget to like it and comment down below if you have any questions or video requests. You can send an email to askteachakaren@gmail.com if you have any questions. And of course, to those of you who are interested in private classes, you could send me an email, contact me on WeChat, Line. All my details are down below. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to be a blessing to the people around you. Goodbye.